Jamie TV, streaming 100% live on YouTube, making it up as I go along and trying not to pissy pants about too much in the process. Let's see if anyone's here. I'm hoping that the chat's working today, unlike yesterday when I was a good maybe 10-15 minutes into the stream before I knew whether anyone was actually there. And when I actually got to the chat, it turned out there were actually a bunch of people there who were all chatting away. And so I have actually got my computer on today. But what I've also done is I do have the Samsung on again. And it's working today. And Paul is here. Hello, Paul. Thank you for being here. Because I'm just a bit concerned that when I'm using the guitar, if I get a little bit of interference from the computer screen, I can keep the Samsung by me for the chat, right? So I really am having difficulty getting my head around how this Samsung works. And I guess, if I'm honest, it's probably because I'm not really that interested in it. I did learn Audio Evolution on here, and I do intend to do a video with it. But the thing is once I've got Audio Evolution on the Android, then it's I know how that works. So I just kind of switch it on, go into Audio Evolution, and how that works. But everything else on the phone, I'm just an absolute noob with. So right, so we'll put that over there. Right. Okay, so what's today all about? Today is, well, the point that we've reached now with the track is we have pretty much, I think, all the instruments down, except for we haven't got a lead instrument, which I'm going to do today with the guitar, and see if that suits the track, see if that works out. Other than that, other than the fact that I think I possibly could do with some harmony vocals, and I haven't put any down yet. I've had a little go. I found a couple of lower harmonies that kind of work, but I'm not sure that they're really what the track needs. I think the track needs some higher harmonies, and I can't sing any higher than I am doing in the chorus in a full voice. I can do it in a squeaky voice, and I have been known to layer up harmony voices in the past by, for the higher ones, doing multiple takes of the falsetto voice, and then layering it and just having it sort of quietly in the background. It's there, but it's not, and it actually works well. But it tends to be a bit of a sort of a Queen ELO type of a arrangement, and I don't think that's what this song wants. So when it comes to harmonies, I may just not bother, because if I can't do it, I can't do it. So it may just be a one vocal tune and leave it at that, which is a shame because I like my harmony stuff, but there we are. I can't afford to pay any session people, so it is what it is. So other than the fact that we need a guitar solo, we're heading towards finished as far as the instrumentation goes. Now, if you look at my project here, you will see that everything is panned center. Let's just go to the bigger faders so you can definitely see this on the screen. Everything is panned center apart from the two guitars, because they are finished sounds. And because I've got finished sounds on them, I'm ready to pan them. But everything else is center. I'm going like this because I think there's more instruments, but I'm at the end of the desk. These two instruments, however, the piano and the organ, they're finished sounds. They are finished sounds, but I tend to have keyboardy stuff panned in the middle because they have their own stereo picture, but that's not set in stone. For now, they're center. So what I need to do is to get some kind of a guitar sound and start having a go with the guitar. Now, I did, after yesterday's stream, I did get a guitar and start having a jam and just playing over the top just to, get a feel for it. And then I purposely put the guitar down and stopped doing it, because this live stream thing, this is all about doing it on the fly. This is all about, I'm doing it on the spot in front of you, and you get to see all my terrible mistakes and have a good laugh at me when I screw up. That's the spirit of this thing. And I was reaching the point where I thought, as I was playing, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna end up writing a solo for this song if I keep doing this. So I stopped. Now what I'm thinking is, there's a middle section, an instrumental section purposely created for a short guitar solo to go over the top of, and I'm thinking that maybe perhaps in the last chorus I'll put some licks in between the vocals. I'll have a go with it anyway and see if it works. So this is everything that we have in the project. We've got piano, organ, that's the guide track, which actually I could probably lose now. I don't need that anymore, so actually let's just delete that track. It served its purpose. So then we've got the funky guitar, we've got the tremolo guitar, then we've got 6 tracks of congas, bass guitar. I think I'd probably be happier actually if these instruments were in a different order, but I'll do that later. Then I've got the drum kit, which is on 8 tracks, and then I've got a group track for congas and drum kit, and then everything else. The only reason I have the everything else one, it was for yesterday whilst I was doing the vocals, so that I could use my nano control, so that I could adjust the faders of all of the music, all of the drums, all of the congas together, just to get a level for me to do the vocals. And because I was stood up and it was easier to reach this down than to touch the screen. I don't think I have this mapped to all the tracks. I think it's just mapped to the first 8, and I'm not going to be concerned about that for now, but I am going to try and remember to use it for transport functions today, because it's just easier than reaching up to the screen when you're playing an instrument. So I'm going to need some guitar sounds. So let's just play the track, make sure that the level is okay. I'm looking at the iRig stream, the level of my voice seems to be okay, so let's just check the level of the track before I do anything else.
There's only one place to be. Through troubled times we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times we'll stand up tall.
Okay, so as you can hear at the moment, it's certainly not a mix, but Paul, is that the levels of everything okay? You've got new guitar strings coming tomorrow. Okay, what strings did you go for, young man? Because I'm very interested in these things. What did you order? Now, I just noticed that on the computer I have another comment in the chat which isn't on the Samsung. I did update YouTube on this. I wonder why that is. So apparently this is not going to be a good backup. I don't know. I'll leave it a moment and see if it catches up. Maybe it's just a little behind, you know. Me and the missus have this constant thing about, she's an Android user and I'm an iPhone user, and she insists that they're better. Of course I insist that iPhones are better. Sounds clear. Rotor Sound Red 11s. Oh, good choice. Yeah, you'll get a nice bright solid tone out of Rotor Sound 11s. Brilliant, good choice. And I have to concede that there are a number of ways in which her phone is better than my phone. But of course, when it comes to music, it's like 100 miles behind. It's nowhere near the iPhone. I'm just going to reboot this. Just curiosity. Let's just see if it sorts Yeah, I've refreshed it, and now all the comments are there. It's a strange business. Okay, right. Let's find the bit of the track. And obviously, it's not as good for YouTube. Let's find a bit of the track where the solo is going to be. Just do this so I can see a bit more clearly. It should be the bit where there's no vocal, right? So, right, there's a gap in the vocal here. So let's press play there.
Times.
Right, so maybe a bar before there. Let's snap to bar.
Through troubled times.
Guitar solo starts there. And we'll play until
Rough count. When things get rough.
Right, so if I just set myself up a little loop for practicing with, bring that to just so we're like a line into the pre-chorus there. And I should have set my left hand marker. Let's do it now. Maybe, was it there?
Through troubled times.
Right, okay. And I'll put my loop on. Right, so I best start, make a guitar track. I'll put it down here. So we'll add audio track. Routing is input 1 on my iRig Pro Duo, which is awesome. Made a video about it. Check that out. And I'll not arm it yet because the guitar's not plugged in yet. I don't want to make unnecessary noises in your ears. Now, at the moment, the only AUV3 that I have open is Mixbox for the vocal. I haven't frozen that yet because I just wanted to live with the vocal just for a little while, just kind of keep hearing it, see if there are any bits I'm not happy with, and see how much I like the sound that we made yesterday. So I'm hoping that I can use the AUV3s that I need for guitar to get a sound and get this solo down without that being too many AV3s for Cubasis 3. I noticed on Facebook in one of the iOS music groups this morning, quite a lot of people moaning about Cubasis crashing a lot, even since the new update, and they all had much better iPads than what I have. Now, while I've been doing this live stream, putting this track down, it's only actually crashed once, and there was that one time when we thought it was going to crash, but it didn't, when it took 800 years to freeze one guitar track. So, you know, this is like, what is this? Is this episode 7? So, you know, that's not bad going at all. And it's either that Cubasis 3 doesn't run any better on newer iPads than it does on old iPads, or it's that these people are just expecting too much of Cubasis 3. And that's why I have the kind of process that I do. Okay, so let's go, and I'm going to need a tuner. So I'm going to go to New Rack and use the New Rack tuner. Why did I press save? Load tuner. Okay, and then I'm going to need an amp. And I don't really know what amp I want to use for this. I may want a overdrive pedal in front of the amp as well. I'm not sure. So I'm going to use an Imbrini amp, and I think I'm going to start off, maybe start off with the Marshall emulation, perhaps. Maybe a nice bit of drive would be good for this solo. So that is called the MRH 810. And now I'll get myself a guitar. Paul says he prefers Android. We've got a 256 gig SD with music on it. Mixbox has been great since I updated it. It kept losing the UI. Yes, that's in Cubasis 2 though. Is that right, Paul? From what I understand, IK Multimedia have done a really good job of making Mixbox work very, very well in all of the iOS digital audio workstations, but they do seem to have struggled with Cubasis 2. All right. I'll let you listen to the track a moment while I just grab a guitar.
Through troubled times.
This is the bit that I'm going to play the solo over.
Through troubled times. When things get rough, count on through troubled times. When things get rough, count on through troubled times. When things get rough, count on through troubled times.
Okay, let's just have a see. I've got some hum going on here. I'm not terribly happy about. It won't really affect the guitar track very much because whilst ever I'm playing, you know the hum will not be noticed. It'll be cancelled out, but I'm sure that'd be annoying for a listener. Yeah, Cubasis 2, the Stone Age, and iOS 12.3. Well, I'll tell you what, when this iPad was on 12.3, it was faster and more capable for doing music than it is on 13, and that's my main concern about upgrading to 14. It's not really about maybe losing the odd app or whatever. It's about that. Okay. Bruce Fry noise remover. I don't have it. It's an app that I've looked at getting because when I make videos, I think it'd be a really, really useful thing to clean up the narration audio, the bits when I'm talking to camera. I think it'd be really, really useful for that. But it's not something I've got on with getting, but it looks like it'd be really useful to me. So yes, I should get on that. Now is that Clevgrand? I think that's Clevgrand in it. Just tell me in the chat. If it's Clevgrand, then I should be okay. I might be able to get a code for it because I got a code from them for the Slammer app, which I would have done a video on or a live stream on already if it wasn't for the fact that I'm doing this one, and it's been quite an investment of time doing this thing. But I will be featuring it. I've loads of ideas for it. It's a fantastic app. Yes, it's Clevergrand. Bruce Fry is very good for background noise. I use it on vocals. Yes, it's clever. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I may just send them a message and ask for it. But I'll tell you what it is. When I get a code, because that's the first code I've ever had from Clevergrand, and when I get a code from a developer, I feel very strongly that I owe them a video. I'm not one of these people who just wants to get everything as much as it can free. I want to give back. So I feel that I owe them a video, and it's the first code I've had from them, so I won't ask them for anything until I've done them a decent video, and then I will ask. I mean, you know, these apps are not massively expensive things, and I would just, not under normal circumstances, I would just buy them. It's just that I'm a bit financially embarrassed at the moment, being a full-time musician who's been in lockdown for over a year, so things are a bit tight. Right, so let's see what this sound is like. Let's just try this.
Through troubled times, when
That's not a sound I'm liking for this track. Let's just go here. I don't think that will be suitable for this track at all. Far too much bass and reverb on that. See, I was thinking about this track might really suit the neck pickup, but I'm not feeling that on here at all. You know what? I think I may have chosen. I don't know. I'm pressing here. I'm just pressing. I feel I may have chosen badly here. I may have chosen the wrong amp for this track. Let's just have a look at those Nambrini amps and see what. I used the DC30 for one of the guitars. I used the Soundmaster, I believe, for one of the guitars. So I feel like, you know, using a different one for the lead. Another contrasting sound. Let's try the California Reverb. Now the default is a nice loud sound. So let's just go in. There's one I really like. I can't remember if it's the Clean Reverb or Crystal Clean Reverb. Let's just press that, and yeah, okay, that's the one. Right. Okay, let's have a little play with that. Just need to cough a moment, actually. Let me just cough off camera.
through troubled times, when things get rough, count on me. Through troubled times, when things get rough, count on me. Through troubled times.
Okay, that might be a bit too clean, but I think that sounds really nice. I mean, we have to decide whether it's going to fit with the track. Hi Greg, thank you for being here. Yes, Slammer does sound great. It's really, really cool. I love it. My eyes are going blurry as I'm looking at the computer past all these screens. I'm not sure if I need glasses or if that's just a sort of 4 layers of screens situation. Port Wayne, hello and welcome to the chat, and thank you for being here. All right, I don't know if I said your name right, but I'm going to say it's Port Wayne, and correct me if I'm wrong. Right, okay, I need to find some licks. Let's have a little jam, see what I can find.
Through troubled times, when things get rough, count on. Through troubled times,
All right, okay, I'm getting... I quite like that. Oh. See if I can make that fit.
through troubled times,
Hang on.
through troubled times,
I feel what this solo needs is it needs like 4 phrases. So I'd like to get something in that's sort of like that. It's kind of... It's a little bit dynamic at the start, and it's got a nice ending that I can get some vibrato on. Maybe it wants like a slow bend kind of a phrase. It might be nice to get a sort of a bit of a quick one in, you know, just a little bit of flash, maybe to finish it off. And something else.
through troubled times,
I like the slow semitone bend. I wonder if that would fit after this one. Maybe. When I do my bends, I wonder if I could get like a... Oh, like a... Don't know what that noise was. Maybe that could be a phrase, like a sort of a bend section, a bendy section.
through troubled times,
All right, and with a bit of work, I think those three phrases might work. That might be a bit of a solo. But what do I do last? And what do you think? Is it an idea? Is it Tony's Super Sweet? You found it. Yeah, you know what? It's a really nice preset. And the reverb on this amp sounds great. I mean, normally I wouldn't use the reverb on an amp, but like with the DC30, I thought the reverb on that amp just suits what I'm doing. It just works, so I kept that. And normally I'd turn down the reverb on an amp and I'd use another app for reverb, but it's really, really nice. Okay, let's see what we can make of this. I'm just gonna switch my microphone off for a moment, because you'll be hearing, if I turn the guitar down, you'll be hearing this on top as well. So let's just cancel that out so you can hear the actual tone of the app.
Through troubled times, when things get through troubled times. When things get rough, count on through troubled times. When things get rough.
Okay, that's a possibility. I could do the... I don't know, what do you think? What do you think? Buddy Guy tone. It is a bit, yeah, it is a bit. Yeah. I'm just gonna have an experiment with those couple of ideas.
Through troubled times. When things get rough.
Okay, well that works as a solo. Is that in this key? Yeah, it is. I don't know if I could play something like that with a clean sound and get it nice enough. This sort of lick, for me, with a high gain sound, it would sound fine. But I don't know about doing it clean. Let's see if that fits.
Through troubled times.
I don't know if I can get the tempo right.
Through troubled times.
Maybe as an ending.
Through troubled times.
Starting time.
Through troubled times. When things get rough, count on.
I think I need another go at that.
Through troubled times.
In time.
Through troubled times. When things get
I'm not quite sure what note to end it on, and I don't know what you think. Is that better? Is the fast bit better than... What do you reckon? Any thoughts, anyone? It's a good little solo. Yeah, it's not a long solo. I kind of like short solos. I'm a bit of a short attention span kind of a person, really. So, working out a long solo. Right. I'm going to play that again with the twiddly ending, and then I'll play it with the type ending. And tell me which you think is a better option. I shall attempt to play them back to back and play them correctly.
Through troubled times, when things get rough, count on me. Through troubled times, when things get rough, count.
All right, what do we think? Which way is better? Oh, hang on. See, that's what we call a happy accident. Yeah, ending on a C might be a good plan. Save the high gain stuff for the outro. Yeah. Okay, yeah. That might work actually with some dirt on it. Now, of course, forgive me. I don't know how experienced everyone in the chat. Oh, sorry, Nobat. I didn't notice you were here. Thank you for joining us, Nobat. You snuck in. What was I going to say? Right, so forgive me, I don't know how experienced everyone in the chat is, but of course, the way that this works is I have on my guitar track here, which I haven't labelled, that's not like me, guitars as well are blue, right? Blue. And I'm just going to put solo, right? Solo. Right. So the way that this works is I have my plugins here, and they're giving me the sound as I'm jamming along trying to get this part written. But once it's recorded, it's not recording that sound. It's just recording clean guitar. So I could change my guitar sound for anything, any other plugins at any point, and it won't be fixed until we freeze it down. So yeah, so it's a nice sound to work with for now, and I can refine it later, or choose a completely different sound layer. So I want my tuner, and I'm gonna be brave and just have a go at it. By the way, if you notice at any point, if you keep hearing this sound, it's because I have a habit of playing really quite close to the bottom of the neck. especially when I'm sat down, and this lipstick pickup on this really, really, really gorgeous vintage V75 Silverburst, one of 100. Well, actually, this is one of two, because this is one of the prototypes that they made before they made a limited run of 100 of them. So, yeah, and I keep catching the pickup. Anyway, you don't need to know that. Shut up, Jamie. Okay. Yes, that's right, Greg. Never record a dirty sound, or if you want to mic up an amp and record, record your amp and pedals sound, then also record a clean feed. So use a DI, get a clean signal, and record the real amp as well. And I mean, I used to do that all the time, and eventually I realized that I was getting better sounds sort of 90% of the time by using guitar rig style apps, and it's frustrating and heartbreaking when you realize that all that fabulous gear can be sort of bettered by a bit of software, or in the case of iOS, an app that costs pocket money. But it's a different environment. You're not creating 100 watts of killer tone for a live gig. You are creating, a digitized, recorded sound, and it needs approaching in a totally different way. And the apps just do it a lot more efficiently than sticking a mic in front of real gear. Plus, you can change it later, and you can change it over and over again until you find the sound that sits in the mix. Once you've recorded your Marshall stack with a mic, there's not that much you can do with it.
Through troubled times.
Right. Okay. So I was gonna have a go for it. Right. So I let me just run through my notes. Right. Okay. Let's just have a go. I'll close the mic.
Through troubled times. When things get rough, count on through troubled times.
It didn't record because the stupid hippie didn't arm the track. And it wasn't the most fabulous take, but it was, all the notes were right. It was, right. So arm the track. Always remember to arm your track before you're going to do a really good take.
Through trouble.
Also, if you've been practicing with a loop on, remember to take the loop off. Or else, if you're wanting to hold on a nice sustained note at the end to fade out into the track, to blend it in, it's going to cut it off.
Through troubled times. Through troubled times. Through troubled times.
I think that was the notes were all there, and it was more or less in time and everything. But I felt that last note was very heavy-handed, and there were bits of it that were a little bit clumsy. I'm just going to erase that and do it again.
Through troubled times, through troubled times, when things get rough, count on me.
Okay, we'll have a listen to that one.
Through troubled times, when things get
I'm not 100%.
through troubled times, when things get rough, count on me.
All right, what do you think? Tell me what you think. I think personally, I think that maybe I could introduce a little bit more drive at the front end of the amp, or maybe put the new Nambrini pedal in front of it, the clon. Maybe just subtly, and just give it a little bit more dirt. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to piss pants around with that now. That's something that I'll do later. That's my thoughts on it. I think the solo is. I like the notes and everything. What do you reckon? You love everything but the last bar. Okay, let's let me just.
Through troubled times, when things get rough.
Do you think it would have been better if I'd gone for the for that one on the last bar? Something like that. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's do a. Let's just go like this. I'm just going to save that take, and so I'll duplicate that track. Then what I'll do is I'll go into the second one, and I'll just remove the AV3s. Okay, and take the recording arm off it. Right, so I'm saving that. I'm saving that audio there. If I just solo and play that. Right, so that's what it sounds like as a clean audio. I'm going to mute that track out. We'll save that one, and then let's see if I can just maybe. Is it there? Is that right? Take snap to bar off. Actually, you know what I can do? What I'll do? I'm going to do this a different way. I'm going to delete this track because I could have another go at doing the whole solo again, and then later on I can compare the two, and if I feel that one lick I played better on the other one, I could chop it in. But I'll mute this out, I'll play the whole solo again, and at the end I'll do a different lick. Right, so
When things get rough, count on me.
on the end I could get like a little. Yeah, I don't think I need to slap both strings, but slide down both notes. That could be quite nice. Alright, so right, let's try them. So from back here,
Through troubled times.
that was a bit messy.
Through troubled times. When things get rough.
I think that's better, but I could have played that last bit a bit better. So I'm just going to do that again.
Through troubled times. When things get rough.
Alright, okay. I'm going to play this one back. Tell me what you think to this version.
Through troubled times. When things get rough, count on me.
Okay, right, now I appreciate you saying that, Greg, because the problem is, and it's like an age-old problem, but it's very, very true, that when you are a musician, especially, you know, if like me, if it's your job, you always feel a certain amount of pressure to play something impressive. So you kind of, and as we all know, that very often the thing that makes a track work, the thing that, you know, really sets a track off, is not always that monster lick that's incredibly hard to play and fast. And when you work, if you're working like we used to in the olden days, you know, with a producer, and you're just the guy in the booth and the producer's telling you what to play, and he'll say, okay, have a jam over this and come up with something, and you come up with something, you're trying to make it all complicated and fast and impressive, and he'll tell you, you know, to strip it back, simplify it, and then you play something really basic and go, oh, that's it, right? And you think you're a madman, right? It's 2 notes, anyone could have played that. And then you go into the control room and you hear it back and you think, yeah, that made it work, the guy's right. And it's that professional opinion, that other opinion, that somebody to bounce the idea off. And when you, like now, I found myself in a situation where when I record my own music, I'm here in this room on my own, and there is absolutely nobody to say, what do you think to this, right? Does this suck? Is it any good? Do you like this? Nobody. So you kind of have to try and manage yourself. Now, I have listened back to tracks of mine that I've done in the past where I've thought, yeah, that bit's a bit fiddly, I could have played something easier. But you do sort of feel that pressure to try and, you know, to try and sound a bit flash. Okay, like that version? Good. Right, okay, let's play it one more time. I'm going to have a listen and see if I'm ready to move on to the bit later in the song.
Through troubled times, when things get rough.
All right, yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. What I especially do like about it is the bit where I did the very slow bend. It kind of it works kind of like backing right off to a slow, moody, simple bit. So where do we need to come back in?
They do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Troubled times, we'll stand together.
Right, so this I believe is the last chorus. There's a double chorus at the end, and so I'm thinking just in the very last chorus, after each vocal phrase, especially seeing as how it looks like there's not going to be any backing vocals, maybe put a little lick after each phrase.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall.
What I'm picking up from that is what's very prominent in the chorus is that rhythm, the drum rhythm in particular, the sort of and it makes me feel like I want to play along in time to that, like with a sort of that kind of a feel.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall.
Yeah, something along those lines. We'll have a little pacey bounce around.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times.
Just sort of finding my notes.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us,
I'm just trying to find a good last note for that phrase.
we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us.
I'm not quite getting that together. Maybe I'm starting that lick too soon.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. We'll stand together. Whatever they throw, we'll stand together.
I'm in the ballpark. I'm not quite feeling it. That's the kind of thing I'm feeling. I quite like that one as well.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us.
It'd help if I could remember what I played that I liked.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times.
Okay.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times.
I don't actually want to play over that last vocal there. I just cannot keep playing.
We'll stand.
Have you noticed? I've not touched this thing once. I just cannot get used to pressing this instead of that, and it's so awesome as well. I must make a concerted effort to do it. Is that a word? Concerted. I'm not sure now I've said it.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall.
Right, okay, so I was thinking... Right, that's a nice first lick. And then I've got this one that I like. I like that one. And then if I repeat the first one with a different ending. But I think that works better if it follows the first one. Let's see.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times.
All right, okay.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times.
Started that one too early. I must remember to back off. Also, another thing I meant to say earlier, but I got sidetracked as usual. Paul was talking about he ordered some new rotor sound strings. He ordered some 11s. People ask me a lot about what strings I use because I'm a bass player who plays a lot of guitar, but essentially I'm used to hitting really big thick strings. So what I do is I use 10 to 52s by Rotor Sound, the Rotor Blues. So you get a set of 10s on the thinnest 3 strings, so they're nice and easy for bending, but a lot more robust than 9s, and a bit more, maybe there's a bit more metal under my fingers than with 9s, because I really struggle with 9s. They just slip under my fingers because I'm not used to pressing down something that tiny. At the lower 3 strings are a gauge up, so they're like the bottom 3 strings from a set of 11s. So there's just a bit more meat there, because I always feel, spending a lot of time playing bass, when I come to guitar I always feel a little bit ham-fisted. So yes, that's my reasoning behind choosing Rotor Blues, and I put them on all my electric guitars. People will tell you, well, you need 9s for Strat, you need 10s for Les Paul, you need 11s for 335. I just put 10 to 52 on everything and it works great, especially on my Strat actually. Right, okay, so let's see if I can just nail down top light and bottom heavy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times.
All right, okay. I think that's it, and I'm gonna put that down, and then I'm gonna see what you think. So I'm gonna attempt to get that down, and then I want to know what you think of it. I'm still on the neck pickup. I'm liking the neck pickup for this. If I was on the bridge, it'd be more like this, which is a great sound for some tracks. But I think the roundness of this, the warmness of it is okay. It works for me. I'll close out the mic and see if I can get a take.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times.
How long did I sustain that organ sound for? And I'm still not using this control. God. I'm going to have to put a sign like at the top of the iPad. Use the nano. What a twat, honestly. Right, okay. So, shall I play it back first or look at the chat first? I'm going to play it back first so I can hear it, and then I'll look at the chat and see what you guys think to it.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times.
Right, okay, what are we thinking? You're not telling me. Well, I'll tell you what I think. I like the first two licks very much. And I like the third one, but I'm not sure that I've got the phrasing down right. So let's just see. I'm going to listen to it again. Let's listen to those first two and see if they're absolutely nailed.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times.
Right, okay. What I think is, I like the first two. I'm happy with them. I could leave them as they are. You just snap this to bar. I'm going to move this audio down here and save it while I... Did I do that right? No, I didn't do it right. That's right. I'm not sure I'm keen on the phrasing of the third one, and the last one could have been played neater. So I'm going to keep the same content, but try and just play that line there nicer. So that would be...
We'll stand up tall. No matter what they do.
So that would be something like... Just that the phrasing is more like the other two
Forever. Through troubled
that I've muted.
forever. Through troubled times. Forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through
Right, okay, I think that's going to work there.
we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them up. We'll stand up tall. No matter what they...
Yeah, okay, still not right, but that's better.
We'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through trouble, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all.
Yeah, I'm much happier with that. So I think let's just chop this back to here. Right, we'll do that, and then just now I'm not 100% sure that I want a guitar lick at the very end of the song after the last vocal, but I might, and I can always chop it out. So let's just see if I can do this one, but a little neater. So it went like this. Right, so if I can play that neater. Because by this point everything's fading out. There's nothing going to cover up any slight little bits of fret noise or when I catch. You know, when you're playing bends, a lot of the time you're catching other strings, And the sound of the track buries those little background noises that you make. It's just sort of part and parcel of playing a stringed instrument. But for a little bit like this, you can't really afford to have it in there, so my fingers are not long enough. Little girl-sized hands. What if I play it there? Does it need that last note? I don't need that note, that's for sure. Alright, I think I can do this. With a bit more of a run-up, I can do this.
We'll beat them all through troubled times. We'll beat them all through troubled times.
Bit sharp on that one. Let me just... Yeah, okay.
We'll beat them all through troubled times.
Did not get much in the way of vibrato on that one, and I'm still... Yeah, I still like it better when it goes to the other note. So... Right, okay. I know what I'm doing now.
Through troubled times. Through troubled times.
Okay, yeah, I quite like that. Tell me what you think, everybody. I'm just gonna zoom back and play the outro licks.
We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times.
Okay, right. I'm quite happy with that. What do you guys think? Yes, it's much louder than the rest of the track vortex because I'm just laying it down. Um, I can hear enough of the rest of the track to play in time and know where I am. But what I really need for things like this, for an essentially quite clean track, quite clean licks, is I need to hear all of the noise that I make because it could ruin the take if I can't hear it. So, like, say, for instance, when I play a bend, if I go like, let's just arm that track there. When I play a bend, if I go, right, now, as I push this string, this finger is pushing the other strings out of the way, and you have to kind of, you press down, push up, turn your fingers to the side so that your fingertips are pushing the strings out of the way, because you need the soft of your fingertips pushing the strings out the other way. If you catch it with your nails, and you get all kinds of, right, see there now, my fingers are under the strings. When I come away, I get that noise. And now, if I was playing an overdriven track, very overdriven track, I'd have the guitar quieter. But I really need to hear those little bits of noise, and that's another thing that I pointed out to people earlier on that I keep doing is because I tend to play quite close to the neck. I keep catching the pickup with the end of my pick, and every now and again I'll record something and I get this little sound, and yeah, so I need to hear if I do that, so that's why it's so much louder than everything else. But as you mentioned that, the point that we're at now, I've got some guitar down and I'm happy with the guitar, and so the next thing is tomorrow I will be mixing. And what time is it now? Okay, it's after 1, and I'm going to sign off in a moment because I've got some things to do today. So I'm just going to tell you about tomorrow before I go. So what I'm going to do is this. We've reached the point where we're going to be mixing. So all the instruments are there. Some of them already have finished sounds, but particularly the drums, I need to find a sound for each drum. And then as I get the sound sorted, then we'll go into the mixing process. Now, I was thinking about this and I thought, if I kind of, I'm supposed to be laying down this whole track live in front of people, but if I kind of go through every single drum, getting each and every effect, every sound, get everything fixed up the way I want it to be, that's going to take a long time. That's going to be a very long, laborious stream. So I think what I'm going to do is, before tomorrow's stream, I'm going to get some sounds already ready. And then I will, so I'll get some sounds prepared and ready, and I'll show you those sounds and what I've done with them to get things sounding the way I want. And then some of the other drums I'll do from scratch, so you can see the full process. And then we'll be freezing those tracks off, and we'll be then ready to mix. And I think the mixing process will be quite easy for this song, because all I've done is I have placed 5 instruments. Other than like the drums and the congas, I've really got 5 instruments. I've got a guitar, 2 different guitar parts, 2 different guitar parts, a piano part, an organ part, and a bass part. And I've made sure that they all kind of sit in their own frequencies. So once everything is panned, it should be quite easy to find a nice balance and everything. And I'm more concerned about making the congas sit nicely in with the drum track. So before I go, let me just quickly show you what I mean. So can I use these? I can't remember if I've got these set up for everything. I think I have for these instruments. Let's have a dabble. Let's see if it works. Okay, so I'm going to just solo. I'm going to solo my voice before I solo anything else. So, yes, solo that. Right, I'll come over here, and then I'll solo these by using the nano controller and remembering to use the thing. You see, this one's doing that weird thing that it was doing the other day. This one, it's like not latching. It's kind of, I have to keep it pressed down for it to work. So that's not going to work for us. Okay, so let's take these solos off. Okay. I don't think that's a Cubase's fault, actually. I think that's a fault with this, but I'll investigate that in my own time. Right, so I just want to show you how this blends. So solo my voice, and then we will solo the bass. And actually, let's just go to the beginning of the track. So we're going to come way back here. Right, so you got the bass, and then the tremolo guitar and the funky guitar, and they're in their own space. They're played in a different octave, and then the piano. The three kind of make up a whole. Nothing's doing anything very complicated. We've got the organ in this section instead of piano. The organ really is a filler sound that's meant to be a bit more quiet. I mean, these are not mixed as such, but without mixing, they do kind of already sit in their own space. That's what I'm trying to drive at. And notice how everything's out of the way of the bass. The bass is moving around, but it's not clashing with anything. Alright, so all I'm saying is that's what I try to achieve when I'm layering the parts. I think a lot about what frequency everything is in and putting things in their own space. So thank you everyone for joining me today. Thank you for being here. Let me just check the chat before I go. Vortex was late, but I understand that this is an incredibly awkward time for Vortex where he lives. So thank you ever so much for joining us, Vortex. I really, really appreciate that. Okay, so boy, that guitar is way louder. Yeah, I've read that bit. Hi system, thank you for joining us. Love the guitar. Yes, 5:30 over there. Yeah, but thank you so much for joining us. Okay, is Peanut here? Peanut comes here. You just made it, but I'm about to say goodbye now. All right, so thank you ever so much for being here. I really appreciate joining me. So we'll get stuck into the mixing tomorrow. Thank you ever so much once again, and I will see you tomorrow. So until then, be nice to each other and be good, and don't piss your pants about. See you later.